I'm just with my client Troy. He's just bought a new car. How is it, Troy?
Awesome.
Tell us, what is the car? Tell us about it.
It's a Maserati.
I better let him drive now. He was just saying how when you first got it, right, it was so quick. He nearly went into it.
I nearly ended up in a field. I pulled out of a car park in a pub and almost killed myself.
So how's life different from a year ago now, Troy, since you joined the training compared to now? How's life different?
A lot more chilled, a lot more relaxed. Plus the fact, I mean, this time last year I was driving a Vauxhall Insignia, and now I'm driving a 3-litre twin-turbo Maserati. So
good on you, man. But a lot of people, they look at these ads and stuff like this, and they think it's a get-rich-quick scheme. They're skeptical. What would you say to that?
I'd say, like, it's the same as anything. You apply logic and you apply reality to anything you do. There's no such thing as a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about what you put in. You have to get up, you have to change your mentality, you have to do the work, you have to knuckle down and get it done. It's the same as any business, but the rewards in certain businesses are better than others, and this is an awesome business to be in. Learning is the hardest part. Changing your mental attitude and applying what you're taught is the hardest part, but once you do it, the rewards are fantastic. I can't think of another business, and I've been self-employed for 30 years. I've had several businesses I've built from the ground up, literally from the ground up with no money. I've done the 12 hours a day, I've done the 16 hours a day. It's hard graft, and this is hard when you start, but the rewards and the way it can change your life instantly, there isn't another business like it.
Yeah.
There isn't another business.
So for the guys that are on the fence and they're a little bit doubtful, they got some people around them that says, don't go for it, be careful, because you had the same, right, Troy?
I've had that all my life as well, not just with this business, but when I left school and I had my first job at 12. That's the way I was brought up. You get what you earn, what you're willing to put out. So I've come from that background. So I say to people the same. I just don't listen to them.
Yeah.
We all have failures. I've had failures in business. If you're not having failures, you're not growing.
100%, man.
That's the way it goes.
So for the guys that say, "Hey, Troy, you've always had this. You've had rich parents. You've always had this car. You've always had this. You were lucky." What would you sort of say to that for the people? Because obviously, some people that see this ad or this training, if they take the action and they actually apply it, their life can actually change. It did for you, right? Like, you didn't always have this stuff. Do you know what I mean?
No, I come from a working class family. I'm not going to lie and pretend I come from a poor family. I didn't. My cousins come from council estate, and some of them still live in a council estate. My mum and dad. My dad came from a working class family, but they worked hard, and we had what I'd call a middle class upbringing. I was lucky enough. To go to a good school, have education. I was never an academic. I was terrible at school. I left school with very little qualifications. The world's geared up for people to learn and become little robots, as far as I'm concerned. And sort of bow down to the system. I was quite unique in my family. I come from a family that believed in working hard and getting results, and I did. But at the same time, I always believed that there was a better way of doing things rather than working a 9 to 5 for someone else. So I did it for myself. I went out and I did knocking on doors. I built up businesses from scratch, and I didn't know what I was doing, and then I went off and got the education later on. And
traffic jam ahead.
But one thing I learned with you when I met you at the time, considering you're sort of literally half my age, is that there's a lot easier ways of making money with less effort. It's still hard work, but it's about working smart. Not having to just smash the hours every day and work yourself into an early grave. It's about measuring your results, changing your attitude. When you change your attitude and you change your habits, you change your world.
Massively, man. I agree. So would you recommend it, mate?
So I'm going to have to go around. I'm sitting here chatting. I'm actually sitting in a queue we don't need to be in.
Would you recommend it, buddy?
Yes, 100%. I'd say no. If you're not prepared to get up, believe in yourself, put the effort in. If you're a non-starter, if you're someone who believes in dreams and that you're going to start this and just become a millionaire and not have to put the effort in, no, don't waste your time. But if you believe that you deserve getting back what you put in. If you believe that if you can get up in the morning and you can apply what you've been taught, and you can learn from the mistakes you make, because you will make mistakes in this business. I didn't
100%.
just do it, and it wasn't an easy start. And I'm still learning. I'm still making mistakes now. I've just, Tom knows, I've had a few setbacks, but I've taken the tools of what he's taught me. I've put the right actions into place, and I'm getting results again. So it's a case of listening and constantly learning, networking, getting on with people, putting the hours in. It's not going to happen overnight, but it was certainly. And plus the fact, this is the biggest thing for me, was the mindset change. You've taught me how to think differently. You've taught me how to structure my day differently. I've applied that to. I've got another business, a little business that I actually let go, but I'm building up again just for fun, because it was. I think I had sort of a pride in what I did. So I'm building it up again, but I'm not doing what I did before. I'm not doing the hours in that what I did before. I've got someone else that So you've changed my mindset of how I can let go of stuff. Learn not to hold and grab onto stuff, to let go, and what you get out, you get back. So if you're prepared to put all that in, and if you're prepared to do that, and you understand that, then this is a great business to be in. But I've used those skills in other areas of my life. It's not just about the property.
What would you say to people that say, I've read stuff, is it a scam, am I going to get ripped off? What would you say about that?
I say you can read that about any business. Every business I've had, you're always going to get someone who's disgruntled, and they're people who say this are the people who can't be bothered to get up and get results for themselves, and they don't want to put the effort in. They'll dabble in it, and they will expect to see instant results, and when they don't, they'll throw the toys out of the pram, and I'm not going to lie. There